What up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dre Bee Rambo with the Dre Bee Rambo Show. Thank you for joining me this evening, or should I say this morning, because that's when the show gets aired. Today, the topic of discussion is entrepreneurship. Is it worth it? And the quick answer, yes, it's absolutely worth it. But it's not for everybody. Not everybody's going to be able to have that entrepreneurial spirit where you're going to put in the hard work to be an entrepreneur. I'm not even capable of. I don't even know if I'm capable of it. To be honest with you, if you go to work every day, if you have a job, a regular 9 to 5, the hours that you go is not really important. But if you got a regular job, maybe you're working at a law firm like me, or maybe you work in a hospital, maybe you work at a fast food restaurant, maybe you work in a warehouse. Maybe you're a lifeguard at the beach. Maybe you're an instructor at the gym. If you go to work every single day and you're dissatisfied with what you're doing, and you just feel like, man, I don't know if I could do this anymore, I need something different, then perhaps entrepreneurship is for you. The one thing I like about entrepreneurship is that there's so many benefits to being your own boss. And you could just end up creating a job for yourself. No one says you have to create the next Fortune 500 company, or that you even have to ever have employees. You could just be somebody who makes a job for themselves, maybe something you're passionate about. There's so many things that people do that they create and earn money just as much if they had their own job working for somebody else. And that's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think everybody should try a job, or at least get a side hustle. I love side hustles, but I go to work every single day in Los Angeles. I drive an hour and a half to an hour and 40 minutes one way every single day in the morning. I commute during rush hour traffic into Los Angeles, and it's the worst experience. It's been the worst 6 months or 7, 8 months, almost 8 months now that I've been working at this firm in LA. It's way out there. And I don't even know if I like doing the work. I mean, I went to law school and everything, and just the thought of thinking that that's what I'm going to do the rest of my life, lawyer work. If I pass the bar, it's like, I don't even feel excited about that. It's like, man, if I pass the bar exam, I might get stuck doing this type of work for the rest of my life, pushing paper. I might be making a lot of money, but what does it matter? I make good money right now. I make pretty decent money for a guy. And I go to work every single day and I think to myself, I just got a raise too. I just got a $5 an hour raise. $5 an hour raise. That's never happened to me before. But I got a $5, and I asked for more actually, but still I aimed high and I fell where I fell. And $5 an hour bump is not bad. And I don't think it really matters. I think my boss, who's a great boss, I like him a lot. I don't think it would matter how much I get paid. I'm just never going to be satisfied or fulfilled building someone else's dream. That's exactly what you're doing when you have a job. You're one of the cogs in the system. You're a piece of the machine that earns this person who owns it, or people who own it, if it's a large corporation, money. You're making them money, building their dreams. They're the ones hanging out on the yachts, or they're the ones buying the $500 knickknack that they don't really need. And you're the one who's giving up hours on end for a job for somebody else. It's crazy because I think about it too, is I drive 3 hours, maybe a little more than that every single day in my car. I spend that much time in my car driving to and from work. Those are hours I don't get paid for. Those are hours that I'm not productive. Those are hours that I'm just basically listening to podcasts in my car, not doing anything productive or to earn. And just having that drive every single day is like killer on the body. When I started my job in September, I weighed 200 pounds. And right now I weigh 245, probably 250. I weighed myself in a few weeks, but I probably weigh 250. I know it doesn't look like it. I mean, look at this, dude. Look at that. Ah, my gosh, that's horrible. But I put on 45 pounds just sitting in my office eating snacks from the kitchen snacks that are provided. And, I'm sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, man, I hate my job. It's a good job. There's nothing wrong with it. They give me a nice office, a good size office. And sometimes I mess with my own head. I'm like, man, why would you want to quit this job? Look at you make good money. You got the office space, got your own office with a window. I got a small couch looking chair, and I got one of those, not an oriental rug, but I got like a really nice, it's red and I forget what you call them, but it's like a Persian rug. There you go. I got like this nice Persian rug that I brought from home actually to my office, and I made it real comfortable. I got plants everywhere, and I got 3 screens, computer. I mean, I'm decked out in there, making good money, and nobody bothers me. People leave me alone, and I'm just sitting there on my computer, drafting motions and uh, mean confer letters, just lawyer type stuff. And on the surface, there's nothing wrong with it. Like people, you think I'd be crazy to quit my job, but trading hours for dollars, just knowing that I'm producing a certain amount of money, but I'm only getting a certain percentage of that because that's the way it is in capitalism. That's how it works. It only makes sense, right? The boss hires you. He's got to be able to make something off your labor in order to keep the doors open. And which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. As if you're an employee, that's how it works. But it's almost like you're giving up your soul. It's like you're losing yourself. Anytime I have one of these jobs, these jobs at a law firm, I could feel my spirit just dying, slowly dying. And that's exactly how I feel. I feel like I'm slowly dying working this job. And it doesn't matter how much money I make, and it doesn't matter how well I'm doing financially. I hate it. And that's why I started the auto detailing business, because entrepreneurship has a lot of perks. If I can get this auto detailing business off the ground, I could quit my job and potentially the potential is there to make 3 times as much money. I think 3 times as much money. I mean, there's guys in this industry who pull 200 grand a year. And if that was all my mindset was, I'd probably be like, why bother? But actually, my goal is to invest in real estate property. Like I had said before, it's real estate property where start creating passive income. That's what every entrepreneur should be trying to, that should be their goal, to create income assets that are actually streams of income, whether it's, vending machines. Because you think about it, vending machines are like a little piece of real estate. You find a location to have your vending machine, and that little square right there is a small piece of real estate that you could sit down. It's not a house, it's a machine that spits out candy or whatever. But that thing every month, without having to do anything other than every month or every couple of weeks, go and fill up the machine with new candies or new snacks or chips or sodas, generates revenue while you're not even there. People go there, they put their card in or they put their dollar in and they buy something. And especially if you have someone else collecting it for you, that's passive income right there. Same thing with real estate. You start getting somebody, you buy a property and say a fourplex, for example, and you got 4 people renting it and the rents come out to more than what your mortgage payment is on that bad boy and all the overhead that comes with it, like insurance and, if you got an FHA, maybe the escrow payments and all that kind of stuff. Like that's money in your pocket you're making money while you're sleeping. And that should be the goal of any entrepreneur, is to create these systems like we were talking about yesterday, systems where you have multiple sources of income coming in, streams of income that come in that you could then use to invest into something else. Like that has to be the goal. And one of those systems that I set up in place that we were talking about yesterday is having this auto detailing business that could potentially earn. Think about it. If I have I have all the equipment that I need. I got the air compressor. I got the steamer, and I got the hot water extractor. I got the 4,000 watt generator in case I have to go somewhere and do a job and I need power. I got the brushes and the chemicals and all the bells and whistles. Right. It doesn't mean anything if it just sits there. Right. So I had to have other systems in place to generate leads. And that's another thing that I'll talk about later. But having a plan to put money earned into income producing properties is the way to go. That's exactly what you want to do. That's my plan. So I have this. So in order to do that, I have to do a lot of stuff as an entrepreneur to get this business off the ground. I gotta get all the equipment that I need, all the machines and the product that I need in order to actually provide the service. I have to think about how to market my business. What I'm doing right now is I got with a company called, I believe it's called Wizard Detail, I believe it's called. And what they do is they have a software that they created that helps me manage my clients. It's a client management software. It helps me keep track, and it also helps me put out videos to all my different social medias. It's got like a phone number where people can call in. If I'm busy, on a job, they can call. If they call my number, it has generated text messages that will immediately respond to them and send them to a link so that they could fill in all their information. And then when I'm done with the job I'm on, I can contact them and go out and see them, and then make the sale. Right. There's another part about the owning a business and being an entrepreneur is sales. You got to have a sales division. Now, if you're the only guy like I am right now, I'm all that. I'm the marketing department. I'm the sales department. I'm the service department. I'm the management. I'm the back office. I'm all that stuff. So if you're thinking about, hey, I want to, be an entrepreneur and have my own business, you have to ask yourself, are you willing to learn? Are you capable of learning how to manage all these different systems of your business? Because all these departments got to be dealt with. You got to be pumping out leads. You got to be able to figure out how to market your business, come up with the marketing, the strategy, the logos, the business cards, the equipment you're going to use, the management software you're going to use, getting the domain name, getting the Google My Business name, all these different things you got to be able to figure out. So ask yourself, am I better off being an entrepreneur, or should I just play it safe and just go to my job every day, drive in traffic, and then go to work for 8 hours, I take an unpaid hour lunch break, and then drive all the way back home and then watch TV and just be happy with what I got. If you think you can live your life that way, and starting a business and having to deal with all the stresses that come with having a business is not for you, then obviously you're just going to stay there. But if you got that fire in you, and you want to have your own business and you want to do something, you got to think about strategy, all these different things. It's so much more than just going out and buying the equipment. All the equipment's right there. All my service department is ready to go. I got all this crap here. It's not crap. It's very expensive crap that I need in order to detail an interior detail. I don't even have the stuff I need yet for the exterior, like the pressure washer. I don't even have that yet. I gotta save money and buy that, because I can't just do interior detail. I gotta provide a full detailed mobile detail service. I gotta be able to, actually wash the outside of the car, which shouldn't be too difficult. Point being, service department. So I got to think about all that stuff, right? I got to think about, okay, what other equipment am I going to need? One thing I learned is that I should have took more time to research the products and the prices, buying it here versus buying it there. Because I'll tell you right now, if I could go back a month, I would probably purchase these items somewhere else, because the place where I bought it from had a very high markup. for those products. But being that I'm only one person, I'm trying to move, I'm throwing money at the problems. I paid a premium for the stuff I have. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because once I get this ball rolling and start generating lead, once my marketing department starts generating leads, then it won't matter. I'll be able to, if I have enough jobs, it'll pay. 4 cars. I paid about $2,500 for all this stuff. $3,000 probably. I probably invest about $3,500 right now. If you include the software and the services and other business cards and all this stuff that I had to buy. We're talking like I'm about $3,500 in, baby, and I'm not even done. I still got more investing to do. All that stuff has to be done by the front office. The management. That's me. I got to figure all that stuff out. Hey, I'm got to look at the bank accounts. Hey, do I have enough money to actually be able to afford to invest in the company? If I invest in this pressure washer, is it going to add value to the company? The answer to that is obviously yes, but it's also timing, because I don't want to overextend myself, because then the company, the business can go under because there's no money coming in. And all the money that's coming in right now is coming in from my job. So I can't quit my job just yet. I got to actually start having income producing. I got to actually produce income. But the potential is there, because in mobile detailing, an average price for a car is going to be somewhere between $250. Maybe a small van is going to be about $350. A large truck or a really large vehicle could be $400 and up. What if someone wants me to clean an RV? That's a lot of seats. That's a lot of play. I'd probably charge $1,000 for that. Right. And get that done in a day. And not maybe 2. If it was an RV, maybe 2. Right. But point is, and in one day I could make, with one job, which should only really realistically take me about 3-4 hours, I can make anywhere from $200 to $400, $450. So say on average, I'm making $350 per car or per large car, especially if I'm doing high end cars. If I get 2 jobs in a day where I'm spending a total of 6 or 7 hours working, and I'm making $700 that day, that's a pretty good day for a guy who's just self-employed working by himself, right? And then over time, once I have enough jobs and I got the back end office working right and everything's up to code, I got the front end of the office working, I got marketing where it needs to be, I got sales where it needs to be. I've built a team of, the software company. I got the team of my CPA, which I got a CPA who will eventually take over the books and be able to manage what's coming in and what's coming out, give me advice about how to scale and all that kind of stuff. And that's exactly what I can do. I can start scaling. Then I can start thinking about bringing on employees, picking up a new van. I don't even have a van yet. I got doing this out of my car, but eventually I want to invest in one of those small work vans that I could actually convert and put all the, a water tank with all the hoses and everything. I have already found companies that can convert my car, even my car, in the trunk, like deck it out with the whole setup, mobile detailing setup, where I could just literally work out of my car. Hopefully, at some point, get a van. All these things have to be think about. All this stuff has to be done by you. And then, so that's exactly what I've been doing every single day. I go to work. While I'm at work, I'm also, making phone calls or doing things on my own personal computer, like especially during my lunch break or right afterwards. And, all that stuff has to be done by me. So then ask yourself the question, employee versus the entrepreneur. Do you have the mentality of an employee, or do you have the mentality of an employer or an entrepreneur? Right. So me personally, I definitely got the bug. It's something so satisfying about being your own boss, having your own business, and the potential for growing is endless. It's endless. And not only that, but when you're a company, think about it. When I'm making $700 a day, 6-7 days a week, I'll have, that's like, let me do the math real quick. Let's see what that adds up to, guys, and tell me what you think. So if I did, let's just say I did 2 jobs a day at $300. That's $600. Times that by 7, that's $4,200. $4,200 1 week doing 2 cars a day. What if I did that 4 weeks? What if I did that for 30 days out of the month? Let's see, that's $600 a day times 30 days. We'll just say 30 days. Boom. That's $18,000. $18,000 versus the $4,500 that I bring in every month. The net that I bring in. That's not including all the taxes that I pay every month. I pay a crap load of taxes. And not to mention the tax incentives of owning a business, meaning you're going to pay less taxes, theoretically anyway. That's not really, they really say, you don't really pay less tax. I mean, it's not about, I have an LLC. So, they say it doesn't necessarily help you save more taxes than if you're a sole proprietor. Point is, owning your own business, man, there's write-offs for certain things, meals, travel, employees, all the expenses associated with running your business. All those things are tax deductible. All that $4,500 that I've already spent on, or $3,500 I spent on this business already, tax deductible. I'm not going to pay I shouldn't have to pay taxes on it anyway, because I've already paid taxes on it through my payroll. But I'll be able to apply that as an investment towards my business when I file next year. And so, point being, we have to really think about what is the mindset of somebody who is an entrepreneur. And keeping that in mind, I'm going to play a short clip. It's only 2 minutes long. It's not very long at all, of this guy. And the video is called What Sets Them Apart, Employee versus Entrepreneur Mentality. So let's give it a shot and see what this homeboy has to say. All right, let's give it a shot here.
When I speak around the world and I ask people, what comes to mind when I say the word work? And guess what I get? Pain, obligation, traffic, drudgery, uncomfortable, obligation. That's the list.
Yeah.
And because of that, and because they've been trained as an employee to work so they can rest, the rest is the objective. The retirement is the objective. The weekend is the objective, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get away from all this stuff is the objective. So
imagine that. Going to work every single day in and day out, breaking your back, driving in that traffic like he was talking about. He even brought up some other stuff that I thought was interesting. Let's see where it is here. Where did he put that list? Right there. Pain, traffic. There's a lot of pain in driving every day. A lot of pain. Drudgery, we're not really sure what that word means. Uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable driving in traffic. Obligation. The obligation of having to get to work on time, to be there for the hours and the days that they require you to be there. Like, you're obligated to be there. You don't get to make your own hours. Although I tend to do that sometimes, but you don't get to make your own hours. You're supposed to be, they own you between 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock and 5 o'clock. They own your ass. Right. And they give you an hour break, but they don't pay you. So that hour is just thrown away to the wind. Like, I could eat at my desk. Why do I need a whole hour to do nothing? Right. Why? Hopefully you make use of that hour. Point is, all this stuff right here, I mean, that's not even an exhaustive list of all the crap that, I'm lucky I have a really good job and a good boss. And for the most part, it's a very pleasant environment. But crap, man, LA is ugly. It's horrible being out there. The air sucks. It's just I'm depressed when I'm out there. It's horrible. It's like going to give me a heart attack. Anyway, let's finish up what he has to say here.
As an employee to work so they can rest. The rest is the objective. The retirement is the objective. The weekend is the objective, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get away from all this stuff.
That's right. That's what I was gonna say. Like, you're working your ass off just so that you could have rest on the weekends. Like, there's no mindset. There's no hope. Like, you're not gonna work your way into riches. You're not going to work your way into enough money to retire anymore. We live in a society now where the employers don't have to, they have these 401ks and not even real retirement accounts. They might match you, but it's actually really brilliant. I was reading a book by Robert Kiyosaki years ago, and he explained the difference between a direct deposit and a direct benefit pension plans. And I still remember it because it really shook me to my core. It's like when our grandparents were coming up, companies, in order to entice them to work for them, they would provide these direct benefit pension plans. If you work for me and you work for me for 20, 30 years, I'm going to provide you with a retirement. You're going to be able to kick it for your golden years. And, you're not going to have to worry about anything because we got you. We're going to pay for your retirement. And then they got smart. They said, why are we paying for it? Let's make the worker pay for their retirement. So then they offer these 401k plans. It's called a direct contribution, a DC pension plan, where you are the one who funds your retirement plan, and we'll match you, right? Well, yeah, they'll be like, oh, they match me 100%. Oh, wow, big deal. They used to pay for the whole thing, and now they're only matching you whatever you put in, right? Some companies only match you a percentage of what you put, but let's just say they match you 100%. You're gonna they're only gonna match you if you put something in. So not only do you have to give up $200 a month, which ain't enough to grow, but you putting in $200 a month. What is that? $2,400 a year, and you put that in, and then they match you. That's less than $5,000 a year you're putting away for your retirement. Times that by 10 years. What's 10 times 5? 50,000. That's 10 years. So 20 years would be 50,000. I'm sorry. Would be. I'm sorry. 10 years times 5 is 50,000. So you would save $100,000 in 20 years. 20 years working and only getting $100,000 and that's only if you decided to put $200 away every month of your own money away in a savings account that they get to use and get to accumulate interest off of. They actually literally take your interest payments on that. They probably put it into a big fund with all the other employees, and they're building all this interest, right? And they might even give you a little bit of it. Point is, you're going to be walking away with $100,000. Can you retire for the next 30 years of your life on $100,000? No, you're going to have to keep working. The company's not paying for you to retire anymore. And yet they sold us this crock pot of bullshit that they're going to match you 100%. Or so one company I worked for, they said, well, we'll match you 10%. Some crap like that. And I'm just like, dude, no, who's going to retire on that? No one. No one's going to retire on that. So that's the thing people do. They work their whole lives thinking that and just waiting for the weekend to come around. And then they go right back to it again. I've had jobs that I couldn't wait till the week. Like right now, I can't. Like right now, it's Wednesday night. It's hump day. But man, I can't wait till Friday, man. I cannot wait till Friday. It's Memorial weekend. And, I'm going to be just chilling. My kid's going to be at Disneyland with her friends, so I don't have to worry about taking care of a kid. So that's nice. I'm going to be able to catch up on all the stuff that I want to do. But as an entrepreneur, you don't get to just kick it. You don't take time off, not in the beginning. You got to hustle, grind, take every advantage of every minute. Let's finish up what this guy's going to say.
Is the objective. So entrepreneurs look at work completely different. Work is passion. Work is creation. Work is purpose. Work is mission. Work is contribution.
You hear that? You hear that?
Why would you want to get away from that?
Yeah. Why would you want to get away from that? You wouldn't. Now, it's scary, though, but that's the exciting part about being an entrepreneur. It's like, man, I could actually go homeless. I could fail. And that will put a whole lot of fire under you, because the last thing you want to do is sink. It's sink or swim. And you can't just if you're kicking it watching TV or your Netflix or your phone. Dude, come on. if you know you want your business to be successful, it's gotta be your baby. It's gotta be 24 hours. You gotta sacrifice a lot. You gotta sacrifice a lot of things going out. You gotta sacrifice a lot of people. You gotta be willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to make it to the top. Now, naturally, like myself, you can't just ignore your children. And if you're married, you can't just ignore your wife, right? You gotta make time for those people, because otherwise, why are you doing it, right? But you gotta sacrifice some of the time with them, or you do it with them, right? You got to be on the same page. They got to support you by being on the same page, right? But the entrepreneurship, man, it's like, it's exciting. It's like, man, if I never go to bed at night thinking about my job. Oh man, the next day, man, I'm going to get real good at drafting a motion for reconsideration or a motion to compel a deposition. Oh man, I can't wait till I get to work tomorrow, because I'm just going to make a brand new draft of that document. No, I never think about going to my job and fantasizing about how great it's going to be. Maybe the first week, thinking about my first paycheck. And you know what? I mean, who's ever got a new job? You're excited for your first paycheck, and then it's never what you thought it was going to be. It's less than what you thought. And then after a few months, it's just like the same number every 2 weeks, the same number. You get the same number in your bank account every 2 weeks. It's never enough. It's never what you need. And many times that check's already 2 checks down the line's already spoken for. I got like one more. I got the next 2 checks of mine are already, I already know where it's going. Paying off debt, paying off the loan I took out for this crap. One large sum, I'm just gonna pay it. Bam, $2,000 to pay off all this stuff I got. Right? It's gone. However, all that stuff is money generating. It's a money generating machine, service. The machine is all the stuff I was talking about earlier. The service department, the sales department, the marketing department, the management, the back office, all that stuff. That's a generating machine, money generating machine. Entrepreneurship is about taking your income into your own hands, getting out there and making it happen. Let's finish up this video.
Yep. So the employee-minded people think the entrepreneurs are crazy people because they rest just long enough to work, while the employees are working just long enough to rest. So most entrepreneurs can't even fathom. I can't even fathom retirement.
Sure.
I can fathom lifestyle, doing it my way, but I can't fathom like wanting to get away from this. So that's just one example. There's a million that I could give you. Entrepreneurs think on one side of the coin and employees think on the other side of the coin. So whether it's work or investment or sacrifice or time, an employee, for example, is willing to give you about 2 weeks. And if within 2 weeks you don't get paid, they're gone.
Yeah.
But an entrepreneur is willing to be underpaid for a long period of time.
Yes.
Fairly paid for a very short period of time, and then overpaid.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the part of it, being an entrepreneur. Like right now, I haven't made any money. I'm literally in the hole. I'm negative. But you have to understand that once you start taking off in your business, you're getting underpaid in the beginning. You're not paid at all. Doing free car washes to promote your business, to try to get the word out there. You're squandering money on business cards and management software and all the equipment you need. You're putting in all this work. I put in like already a month doing this, and I haven't brought in any money. Right? I haven't even got my business cards printed yet. Like I barely today synced up my Instagram and my Yahoo, not my Yahoo, my Facebook to my my client management software, right? Like all these things I'm doing, I'm setting up, I'm doing all these things. Luckily, I have he's not a mentor. He's just a guy who in Oklahoma who's helping me because he understands the software. He's in the sales, and he understands. He's trying to help me get set up. But most of the stuff I have to do myself. and I'm paying for this service, right? I'm paying $250 a month to have this software and marketing materials, all this stuff, and it better pay off because I need to be able to generate leads. The Google My Business, all that stuff needs to be able to bring money in. But in the meantime, I don't get paid anything. Not a single dollar. It's scary. Like if I lost my job right now, I'd be in bad shape. Luckily for me, I still have my job. I'm not being irrational and be like, oh, I'm just gonna quit my job and just go heads in and just do this thing. No, I would love to do that. I would love to just be like, screw my job, bum, bum, bum. But reality is I'm gonna need to be there another couple months, or as long as I can, before the summer comes, because my daughter is gonna be out of school and I don't have anyone to watch her. It's just me. So I'm gonna have to start leaving work early, like at 4. I probably won't get paid. I mean, they probably won't dock me any money. I could probably just go into work earlier. That's the good thing about having a job where your skill is actually, no one else at the office other than the lawyers, not even all the lawyers. I train one of the lawyers, but because of my experience and my years of experience doing law work, I could get away with a lot. But it doesn't change anything. I'm still working for dollars. I'm still trading hours for dollars. I'm not building any wealth. I have no potential to increase my income other than the one time I asked for a raise and I got it. But that's it. Dude, homeboy gave me a $5 an hour raise. He's not going to give me another raise unless I pass the bar and be a lawyer. I mean, I'm capped out. There is no moving beyond that, right? I'm not going to make more money working at this job. It's done for. Right. And you think about $5, man, that's a lot of money. $5 an hour. That's great. However, it really only amounts to what, $250 every 2 weeks. So we're talking an extra $500 a month is really all. I mean, that's probably what I'll net. I'm not exactly sure what it comes out to, but if I'm lucky, I'll be able to get like an extra $400 a month on my check. Or every 2 weeks, I'll be lucky to get another $200. I don't know, maybe $250. That's it. But with entrepreneur, with a job, with this auto detailing business, not to mention I still have legal doc guy. I can make a crap load of money doing that work, doing divorces and child custody stuff, right? There's streams of income. I'm not just limited to auto detailing. I also got my legal business, which is not as a lawyer, but as a legal document preparer, right? I could charge whatever the heck I want. It's my business. I charge some people, $600. I charge other people $1,500 to do something that takes me a couple of days or a week. If I have if I had 2 of those coming in every week, that's what, $3,000 right there. Anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 in that week. So that means I could be making, $6,000 a month just from my legal document business, right? And then if I was making 6,000, I said the potential is 18,000 by myself without scaling, without getting employees, doing 2 cars a day at $300 a month, $300 a car, 2 cars a day for 30 days. That's $18,000. Could totally do it. Plus, it looks like I'm going to get that job at the UFC coaching jujitsu. So I'll have that, which isn't a lot of money, but I can make a lot of money there too because they have a sales element of selling personal training. Right? So all kinds of streams of income. But all this stuff doesn't matter. All this stuff doesn't matter if I'm not investing in real estate, because real estate's where it's at. I believe that wholeheartedly, that if you want to get wealth, you want to be wealthy in this country, you need to invest in real estate. It doesn't matter what kind of, otherwise I'm just always going to be working. I'm always going to be working with these businesses, and which is not necessarily a bad thing because it's good money. But in the beginning, you're not going to be making shit. You're going to have to put in the work. You got to build it. You can't, it's not going to just come to you. You got to build it. Let's finish this up. I keep saying that
for a long period of time. There will,
it's funny. This is only a 2-minute video. It's not even that long, but this video is already at 39 minutes.
Willing to trade under for over. And that's different, right? Than what people that this is unfair. You're taking advantage of me. I'm putting in all this work. I'm not getting any results. Or you're working for yourself. This is stupid. Why am I doing this? I'm getting paid $1 an hour for the amount of time that I'm putting into growing my YouTube channel or growing my business. This is dumb. This doesn't even make any sense. But you got to put in that price and you're willing to invest your time. Where employees are like, nope, if I don't get a certain amount per hour,
Yep.
Not doing it. If you're into network marketing, entrepreneurship, or personal development, hit subscribe.
Oh, hit subscribe. Speaking of which, if you're enjoying the content, or if you want to support the channel, please drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to break 200 subscribers by the end of the month. We're at like 117 right now, I believe, which is not so bad.
For daily.
It's not bad at all, actually. Let's see where I'm at. Bam. Bam. What's going on here? I don't remember how to do it. Check. But basically, I got like 117 subscribers. Pretty sure. My videos. Trying to see here. Dashboard. Yep. 117 subscribers. You know, the funny thing is, this is my 4th video since I've been back. My video this morning got 2 views, which thank you for you 2 viewers, whoever watched my videos, and probably only watched a minute of it. I don't really know. I try not to worry about that kind of stuff. Oh, this one got 8 views, 2 comments. One of them was probably me. This one got 3 views. You know, the reason why I'm talking about this is because this YouTube channel, this podcast itself is a business. Itself is an entrepreneurial endeavor because it could potentially generate ad revenue, right? It's not really something that's important to me. I mean, I do this for fun. I do this because I want to benefit men out there. I'm a big supporter of men, people with Johnsons between their legs. Those are the people that I care about supporting. I think that men, we get a rough go at it, and it's not to, complain or come off as if, poor men. No, it's not that. It's that I think men are underappreciated. I think that men do a lot for society and that we don't get enough recognition for that. So I will do that. I will give recognition to where praise is due. There's a lot of great men out there who do great stuff and they should be recognized for it. And there's a lot of men out there like myself who, didn't have much guidance growing up. I was allowed to just make horrible decisions and cost me years of my life of debauchery and hedonism, things that didn't really benefit me as a man. And a lot of that was because I had no one to keep me accountable. I didn't keep myself accountable. And somewhere along the way, I learned, to care about myself and my future and where I'm going in life. And I care if I can help someone else do the same, then that'd be worthwhile for me. Give men ideas on how to better themselves. Because I've been there. I've been that guy who I was a waster. For 25 years, I was a waster. I wasted so much of my life, so much time, 25 years drinking, drugs, womanizing, having babies out of wedlock, just getting in trouble, going to jail, doing stupid shit that just got me in trouble and left me broke with nothing to show for the last 45 years of my life, 46 years. Got nothing. My bank account is empty. All I got is just my will to keep going. That's all I got. And I'm praying to God every day that that's enough. That's enough to get me. There's so many people I know who are young and they got businesses and they're doing great. They got money, they got wife and kids and all that stuff. They're doing fantastic, and I'm not jealous over them. I'm not envious over them. I'm motivated by them. I'm motivated to get my shit together. And that means starting by making changes, positive changes. One of the things I really got to get down is just this habit of putting on weight, eating badly. It's one of the main reasons why I got to get rid of this job I got, because driving 3 hours every single day to work and back, and then being at work, sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day, like it's really difficult to keep the weight down. because I'm not active all day. I eat, but I always eat. When I wasn't working and I was just doing the podcast and I didn't really have a job. I was just working at the gym. I was working out all day, doing jiu-jitsu. Man, I was looking good. I was like, damn, I look good. But as soon as I got that job, bam, 45 pounds in just a couple of months. I put it on so fast. Like I was putting on like 5 pounds a week for the first 2 months. And then I plateaued at 245. For 1 week, I got as high as 249. 249. I'm only 5'10, 5'9. I mean, that's all. Right? So entrepreneurship is actually going to be what saves me. Although it's going to be hard work and it's going to pay me nothing in the beginning, it's actually what's inevitably going to save me from the 9 to 5, killing myself behind a desk, killing myself in rush hour traffic. And where I'll instead be able to like go play pickleball with the old people at the park, or I'll be able to do some jiu-jitsu at the UFC gym or at my gym where I train Tillis MMA in Whittier, California, where I'll be able to do those things. And then you're going to see the weight just drop off. And if I just and as soon as the weight starts dropping, then all of a sudden I start eating better. I start doing better. And then the weight just comes off and then I start looking all ripped. Just be like, bam, baby. And that's where I got to get to. That's the goal. I gotta buy my life back by entrepreneurship. If you have that desire to be an entrepreneur, I highly suggest you find a way to make it happen because you won't regret it. But just stick with it because in my experience, and I'm not saying it as how to be successful, I'm telling you how not to fail here. Because I've had so many businesses where I failed. And I can tell you right now why I failed at all these businesses. And it's because I got momentum and I got to this I plateaued right when it came to start having to generate leads, the marketing and sales part. I didn't realize that there was a marketing and sales division, right? I was always just about service. I was ready to go with my tools. All right, who needs my help? Sitting there waiting for someone to say, hey, I need you, Andres. I need you, Dre. Come, sell me your insurance. Come, fix my toilets. Come, build this deck thing for me. Man, I've done so many things in my lifetime. But I would always just standing there waiting for somebody to want me, to need me, and no one ever came because I didn't understand that there was marketing. And I didn't understand that marketing meant that I had to go out there and get people to come over. But then there's sales. That means when the people come over, I got to then persuade them or reason with them or sell them on the product or the service. And I didn't understand that. But I understand that now. And that's why I'm putting all my efforts into, I got the service department set up. If somebody called me today, I could go over there and clean that car. But I need marketing. I need to bring leads in, and then I need to sell on those leads. I need to sell them the service, right? That's what I got to do. That's all a part of the fun of being an entrepreneur. It's being able to do all that. One day when I got $18,000 coming in every month, I could hire an employee to manage my phone calls. I could hire an employee to go and clean the cars for me. I could focus on marketing, or I could then eventually pay someone to do the marketing. It's like, you just got to, it's a journey of 1,000 miles, guys. It's a journey of 1,000 miles. But the point is you got to get past that plateau where you bought all the stuff you needed to buy. And then you're just standing there waiting for somebody to come and ask you for your service. No, you got to get out there. You got to keep moving. You got to bug people, tell everybody about your business. Do it for free. I understand that. I mean, I've already offered to a few friends, hey man, let me detail your car. I'll just clean it for you. And all you need to do is just let me film it and maybe just like give me a review online and maybe just do a short video saying, man, Dre did the best job. Look at what he did in my car. I'm so happy, man. It was great. The prices were great, even though I really did it for free. But you could be like, man, the price is reasonable, blah, blah, blah. Marketing. Sell. That's where it's gonna come from. That's where the promised land of financial revenues. I was gonna say financial independence, but it's not that. It's money coming in. Once you got that money coming in, if I had like another $10,000 in my pocket right now, shoot, think of all the bells and whistles for my business I'd be getting. They got all kinds of stuff you can do to improve your outreach, to improve the geographical area where you can provide services to. I mean, there's just so much involved with running a business. And you know, it'd be really fun as soon as this show really starts picking up off the ground, because they will. I don't care how long it takes. Every single day, we're going to have a topic like this, something about business. People can call into the show. See, I'm going to just take the camera. See that? I got this little equalizer thing of a jigger board mixer where, you know, people can call in on my phone and be able to ask questions. You can call me on the show live. Once this show goes live, you'll be able to call and ask your questions, or you can leave comments and I'll respond to them on the next show. I'd really appreciate you guys if you could drop a comment or ask a question. I also have here, I figured out how to do this. This is pretty cool. Where I could show where you could submit clips or articles if you want me to check them out. Generally, this is a man show, and we talk about entrepreneurship. We can talk about relationships with women. We can talk about whatever the heck you want. I got 46 years on this planet. I know a lot of stuff. I have a lot of wisdom, as they say, that I could put in my 2 cents and, you know, hopefully offer some value in any type of area that you could think of, right? That being said, thank you for watching the show. I hope you guys enjoy the show. And then tune in the next day. Tune in on Friday morning. This is Thursday morning, technically. Thursday morning. It'll be airing but we'll be airing again Friday morning. So check us out then. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the show. God bless you. Make sure you say your prayers. Kiss your children good night. Try not to kill your wife or your girlfriend. And God bless you. I hope it's playing. I hope you guys can hear it.